Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Death Battle Cast. I'm Ben. I'm joined by Chad, Liam, as usual, and Max is back. What's
I'm
up, Max?
back. It's
Uh,
Skeletober, of course, so I'm just gonna be here every time.
Yeah, right?
Skeletober celebration. Although
Skeletober! You don't
you
seem to be
do,
dressed appropriately for Skeletober, though.
Well, I'm dressed
yeah,
appropriately for one half of today's argument, and it's my side
gotcha.
of it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you are here because you saw the title and were like, "Ooh, I know those characters,"
Do?
congrats. You're probably one of the few people in the world who knows who the Scarecrow is. um, we're gonna get into this. This is a very interesting and unique matchup. That was actually one of the pitches that we got from the Kickstarter from last year. And when we got on the call with the backer and they started talking about it, we were like, this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have to check out what this weird scarecrow thing is. So we'll
I
get into that. But
I on the
yeah.
call was like, I will rep the Scarecrow. I will watch these movies.
And of course, I had to back up Jack. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
horror icon.
Yeah. Ten Tails with a $100 super chat right off the bat. Thank you, Ten Tails. Asking, what type of horror of Halloween Christmas is this? Surely these two won't break reality as we know it, right? Oh, please. Maybe. Well, we'll see. But I'm hoping we are not getting into reality bending stuff because
Maybe the 180 rule. Maybe they'll break that, but
you know what? That's probably true. That's
Yeah.
probably true. Please tell me it isn't like that. Also, I want to know the backstory of these two. I don't know what type of connection these two have or what their beef is. That is a great question. Neither do I. We're gonna get into that for sure. Ren Scream says, I freaking love Jack Frost. All caps. We got a Jack Frost
All right.
fan in the chat.
That's
And
cool.
then Dublem says, I'm the backer for this matchup. Thanks, guys. So we got them in the chat, which is awesome.
You're
So, yes,
awesome for this.
You've
You're
looked-
really, I love this.
strap in, bud.
yeah.
A perfect matchup to be talking about.
Okay, so yes, today we are going to be talking about the matchup of Jack Frost, who you may have heard of, or at least you probably saw a commercial when you were a kid or something like that of this movie and went like, oh, that's fucking weird. Jack Frost versus Scarecrow, who I promise you do not know who this guy is.
Oh yeah, you probably don't.
Even if you think you know, you probably don't. But also we have some things we want to talk about. Ballot Banter is coming up tomorrow, and it's actually going to be starting a 1 hour earlier than normal. So it'll actually be starting at the same time cast normally starts, but tomorrow.
Because we got to get on plane.
Yes. Because we are going to be going to a convention this weekend. We've been talking this up for a bit now, but we are going to be at Clock Tower Con this weekend. It starts October 24th. It is in Las Vegas, so if you're in the area, come come see us and also join in on the Blood on the Clock Tower shenanigans that's happening there. If you haven't seen our Blood on the Clock Tower videos, we have one for members and one public on the YouTube channel. And it's a fun sort of like social deduction games like werewolves, but everybody's got like superpowers, and it is insane. So we're gonna be at that convention this weekend and playing a lot of Clock Tower. And the way I understand it is there are, if you come to the convention, you can just kind of join in some games. I guess we'll see when we're all there. But yeah, we would love to play some Clock Tower with you all. So feel free to come join us at VegasClockTowerCon.com. That's where you can get tickets.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have a Champions Island update. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But two of our contestants have been released from the island. And I believe only, 12 remain? So it's getting down to it. All right. But first, before we get to all that, we need to talk about these characters. We need to talk about Jack Frost and Scarecrow. So the way this is going to work, if this is your first Death Battle cast, Chad is going to be repping the Scarecrow. Max is going to be repping the Jack Frost. And it's up to them to argue for their characters and convince the rest of us, me, Liam, and all of you guys watching this live, who should win a death battle. And at the end of the show, you all will get to vote on who you think should win. So I want to start with Jack Frost. Max, who the heck is this? What's going on with Jack Frost, and why are you in a Christmas outfit? Oh God.
There he is. So Jack Frost, he was once a notorious serial killer, having gone on a killing spree that lasted 5 years. He never got caught, but eventually he slipped up and was sent on death row. But after a freak accident with a truck filled with experimental acid, Jack was mutated with the snow on the ground and became a killer snowman. And I shit you not, he is one of the strongest horror characters I have ever seen.
What?
He genuinely is.
No.
How?
Now we'll really get into it, but I'll just list a couple of his basic powers. He can easily freeze.
Hang on,
people.
hang on.
Oh yes,
To
yes.
be clear, this is not the Jack Frost from like Myth
It's
or
not
anything.
Michael-
This is not.
No,
This is not the cartoon Jack Frost.
This
everybody
is
pairs
not
with
Michael
Elsa.
Keaton.
it's not Michael
This is-
Keaton. It's the
Oh.
Jack Frost of 2 horror movies, and yet one of the strongest horror characters I have seen.
And this movie came out before the Michael Keaton movie, even
Yes,
though
it
this
did.
feels like a horror movie parody of the Michael Keaton movie.
Many,
what year
many
did this
people
movie
were
come
tricked.
out?
This was
it was
96 or 97, I
Yeah.
think. And Michael
Yeah.
Keaton's was 98.
98.
Oh, yeah,
so
98,
the year
98.
before.
Yeah, like right.
So it's
before
not
Michael
a parody.
Keaton.
It just
Right.
happened to be
Yeah,
the
and
90s
so
was
many
the
people
decade of Frost.
like were fooled when they had to when they're at the video store and they got the wrong Jack
Yeah.
Frost and see this
Yeah,
horrific.
This is
killer
like
Like,
the
snowman.
Michael
opposite
Keaton was
of
a
a
parody of
silent film.
this.
dude, I used
Yeah.
to work at Blockbuster, and I would hate when that shit would happen. There was a War of the Worlds one, and it was not appropriate. And there were so many people that rented that thinking it was the Tom Cruise one, and I had a lot of upset parents.
Yeah. Well, this is like the
Yeah.
opposite of that, because typically, like the Asylum strategy is release a movie with a similar title or whatever, like
Yeah.
a year afterwards.
But
This
they're
came
first.
the year before.
Yeah,
So,
Michael Keaton was trying to get some of that Jack Frost money.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. So what can he do? Like, what's his shtick? He's a serial killer who's also a snowman.
Yes, he has a lot of ice-based ability. He can completely freeze a human being solid. He can shoot icicles out of his little mitten hands that pierce right through human bodies. He's strong enough to immediately rip off a human arm just by throwing a snowball at him. And he can regenerate from pretty much anything. It doesn't matter if you pull him apart, turn him into a puddle, or even turn him into vapor. He will always come back in just seconds. And I haven't even gotten to the craziest stuff yet. There's more past this. I think it's safe to
Okay.
say this battle will be no problem for Jack.
Oh my god!
All right. So I don't believe we have these images pulled up at the moment, but I'm gonna actually send Sam you the images of the the movie covers so that people can see what these characters look like.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah, yeah.
This is not what I think people are expecting.
I mean, I'll
But
tell
while
you.
I'm doing
Well, he
that-
looks very different. Jack Frost
Yeah, on
looks
the
very different in the
cover.
second one. Yeah, the first one's great.
Jack
Yeah,
Frost
yeah.
on the cover does not look like how he actually is.
Yeah,
He looks like way
looks like
cooler
the
on the cover.
Snowman from the Naked Gun movie.
Yeah, exactly.
so while I'm doing this though, Chad, what's going on with Scarecrow?
Well, Ben, which Scarecrow do you mean? And I mean that in a layered sense, because I was looking forward to researching the Scarecrow. I was like, hey, look, it's like a bad, B horror movie. I was like, I love bad movies. So I was like, hey, what'd be fun? I was like, I'm gonna watch all of these. And this was like months ago. And then Max was like, oh, I would love to watch that with you. And I was like, hey, what if we do like a fun little team building event and we do like a watch party, right? With all, whoever wants together. So we set it up for this past Saturday. Max graciously was like, oh, I got it. I'll make it the Discord event and I'll set up the hyper beam so we can all watch it together, because these movies are just available on YouTube, by the way. And so we're like, okay, great. We'll all watch them together. It'll be fun. So Max and I and Akuma got together and we watched through the first Scarecrow movie. And I'm like, man, I was like, he does not have a lot of feats. He as a human busted through a fence, and then his main power seems to be the ability to turn on and off machinery to get people killed. Actually, a decent movie. I was very surprised. There's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, now they're gonna do this, and then they didn't, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty solid. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly all the feats have got to be in the second movie then, right? Because I remember on the pitch call, he was telling me this stuff and this stuff, and I'm like, this is nothing that I remember from this. Anyway, so we get to the second one, watch through that piece of absolute trash dog shit. And
One of the worst.
I'm like, okay, there's some kills in here, and like, but it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm screwed. I am so screwed. And Max is laughing because he knows he's gonna win Death Battle Cast. And I'm just like, this isn't what we talked about. So I went back to the pitch call notes and I saw the name Lester Deerwick, and I went, or Dwarvik, and I was like, that's not the name of the Scarecrow we just watched. But the guy even said it was like, an older movie, and then they had another one, and then it's on YouTube. So I Google Lester's name and find out that we just watched the two wrong Scarecrow movies. There is another Scarecrow series that has multiple installments that also exists on YouTube to watch. And I'm like, oh my god, Max, we watched the wrong movies. And he's like, what? And I was like, you grabbed he's like, I could have sworn those are the right ones. And I'm like, no, dude, this is completely wrong.
Max got the movies for you, not
I
you.
got 'em wrong.
Yes, Max pulled them up.
My
So
sabotage
Max is trying to
is-
sabotage you.
Brett,
I called it yesterday. Max fucking got your ass so good. That was the most advanced Death Battle Cast strategy that has ever been applied.
So listen, if anyone needs to know about Dark Knight of the Scarecrow films, all right, I've got a page of notes that once we realized what happened, I refused to delete them, and I just made a line on my notes that just says all of the above is invalid.
Composite Scarecrow.
Yeah,
There you go.
Well, honestly, I don't need to composite because then we watched the real Scarecrow movies last night. We found out there were 3 of them, and we watched them all back to back. And what a journey it was! And man, do I have some stuff to tell you. So I'm gonna start out by just letting you know, the Scarecrow that was intended for this, Lester Dwervik, is basically like skinny, like senior in high school, like really into art but kind of shy, and was irrationally bullied. I mean, like, this kid cannot catch a break. It's not just the like jock screwing with him, which happens all the time, but I mean every person that he interacts with is just irrationally bullying him. Like, he went to apologize to a teacher for like doodling in class, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. And she's like, don't even talk to me, you little white trash, like blah, blah, blah. And I mean, like, literally in the middle of an apology, this guy get on. Like, that's how bad his life is. Then he goes home to his trailer park. By the way, you could cut scenes from this directly into 8 Mile. He gets and his mom is passed out with a cigarette cradling a bottle, right? And she apparently, they let this know earlier, she's very promiscuous, right? So his origin story is, man, he just can't catch a break, and any girl that shows any interest in him or tries to be kind to him, he falls for them. Shout out to Judy, she was the real one. But anyway, and it doesn't work out. Either they were just like, I was using you for an A, or like Judy ends up getting drunk and like she sees this guy kiss her even though she like isn't into it, but then he thinks she's been, so he's all amped up on my life sucks. Even the one person that was kind to me, like, why? And then he gets home and his mom brings home a man she just met that day who's clearly wearing a wig and looks like he's from like a 70s porno, and then proceeds to talk to Lester about how he's going to be railing his mom, and he doesn't think he'll want to hear that. He then breaks his artwork for pretty much no fucking reason, and this makes Lester lose his damn mind. And finally, he like confronts the guy who he just met that day and was like, "You're not my dad." And then that guy starts yelling at him and calling him a bitch a lot, and then calling him a little bitch man. And then he goes running out into a field where this man then chokes him to death at the foot of a scarecrow while his mom was watching. And then he dies. The man then concocts instantly an elaborate alibi where he tells the mom not to say anything, pulls a noose out of fucking nowhere, puts it around him, and says, if anybody asks, he said he was going to kill himself and we didn't think he was serious. So Lester dies, and upon dying at the feet of the Scarecrow, his soul is transferred into the Scarecrow, who he envied. Early, there was a scene where he talked to the Scarecrow and he was just kind of yelling at its crotch, saying how much I wish I could be you. You don't
Man,
feel
he is a fucking dork.
you don't feel anything.
on?
Like
So
you don't
easy for
feel
you.
anything. I wish I could be you. So now his soul is in the Scarecrow, and now you'd think, right, that like it's a Scarecrow, right? It's like it's made of straw. It's gonna like kind of lumber around and whatever. Fucking wrong. Backflips out of everywhere. I mean, the first time we see him, he does like a triple fucking backflip into the frame and cuts off the dude's head in one slice with a
Yo.
sickle that killed the guy that killed him. If this guy's killing somebody, he's doing like gymnastic, like multiple flips over people and twisting, then murdering him with a classic one-liner like "Don't lose your head." It's very Freddy coded. They really want
it's
it.
just a Freddy impression.
Like,
That's
it
all
is-
it is.
Yeah.
This is Kung Fu Freddy? Like, that's what's going on here?
Pretty
Yes.
much.
In the first movie, yes, 100%. Like in it, I mean, so he has 2 sickles that he carries around, which are like little hand scythes, right? You know, absolutely skilled with those. Killed people in a bunch of different ways. He's cut people in half. He's stabbed them in the head. He's double killed 2 people simultaneously. He has killed a man with an ear of corn through the ear. I'm pretty sure there was a corny one-liner there. And yeah.
it was.
So also Ethan, why is the Scarecrow doing Torian flips? I literally was like, if there's ever a horror movie that Torian would want to animate, it's the Scarecrow. This man can flip, dude. And I'm talking about like, so you'd be like, okay, it's just like it's very Power Rangers, right? Like kill's about to happen, like twisty flip comes in and then he murders somebody, right? Yeah, you didn't think I'd be saying that.
Very Power Rangers. Right after you talked about this like horrific sort of like strangling scene, like yeah. Very Power Rangers.
But what I need you to understand about his gymnastics, this is like his best like gymnastics feat. That this will hopefully seal it for y'all. So he is like chasing this girl or whatever, messing with her. He really likes to pretend to be dead and shit. So he like gets like hit by the car or something like that, and he's laying down. She's like looks in the rearview mirror, he's laying down, and she decides to take off right in this car. So she's zooming away. He's laying flat on his back, then pops up, jumps up, as soon as I saw the pose of the run, I was like, this motherfucker's about to do handsprings. And he does. He flips, twists backwards, does like quadruple back handsprings, more flips, catches up on top of the car. Like from a car speeding away from him flat on his back.
Yeah.
That's how good of a gymnast this man is.
Handsprings?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this like a Captain Crunch versus Tony the Tiger scenario where one is like has the physical edge and one has like the hacks and powers edge?
Well,
Jack has both of those.
Whoa, okay.
as does Scarecrow.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the Scarecrow. There's much more to the Scarecrow that we will get into because we got way wilder than I expected we to. But we'll just start. That's Lester, the original Scarecrow.
Lester.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kills a lot of people. And I'll say the only thing, like nothing can stop him. He's impervious to like piercing, bullet fire, anything like that. The only thing that seems to be able to stop him is fire. Though there is a direct quote that says, "But that only makes him stronger."
We'll discuss how that works.
So when he returns, he is stronger for being burned. I don't.
It doesn't make any
Make
sense.
up the rules.
Like Doomsday, like he dies and then he becomes
He's out
stronger.
for a while afterwards.
Okay. I real quick I had to look up like who is the Scarecrow. And the wiki only credits. Well, it credits to different persons. So Tim Young is Lester, and then Todd Rex is the Scarecrow. I assume Tim Young. I assume Lester. I assume when he stands up as a Scarecrow is an entirely different like physicality and whatnot.
Yes.
Because Todd Rex appears to be a stuntman who has been in like Marvel movies. So this is the guy.
This is Lester. Lester's actor is this. It's very sad. He's always holding his arm and just like I'm a struggling artist. And then Scarecrow does a fucking backflip and he's like, "Hey, bitch, let's go!" Like I mean, like I'm dead serious. He says bitch a lot.
His
in the first
personality
movie.
completely
Oh my
changes
God.
once he's a Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Okay. just in case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, what characters we're talking about, because I've seen a few people in chat go like, I don't remember DC's Scarecrow being like this. Let's bring up an image of the Scarecrow. That's him, right? Is this him?
Yeah, that's the logo.
I-
Yeah, I think that's some of the art. The costume never really looks like that fully. Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. It's just a better image because yeah, that's from the first one.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I got the wrong one like you did at first.
He
It
gets
could have
oh
been
my
the Dark
God.
Knight Scarecrow. I don't know.
he gets more of a like a burlappy look, kind of with a little X over his eye later. But
Okay.
yeah.
And then we can bring up the Jack Frost. Again, this is not the Michael Keaton Jack Frost. It is this Jack Frost.
But that's
looks
not
like
what he
that.
looks like in the movie.
It's not.
He
not at
he
all.
looks like the Michael Keaton Jack Frost in the movie.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
like-
look like
That's
this
the-
in the movie. I've never seen
No.
this movie. I have no
He's
idea.
a
No, no,
very
no,
he
he doesn't
looks
look like this
fat
at all.
in the movie.
He looks like the doll that Max has on screen right now.
He looks
yeah,
like a snowman.
pretty much.
Yeah, that's you're getting we got screwed. We got
Yeah,
we got
well-
catfished.
Wait,
he
what?
doesn't. I mean, like he does.
If you look at our thumbnail for this
but-
episode, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He just looks like a
That is
snowman.
Jack.
I'm so confused.
He's
I'm so
like
confused.
generic snowman.
So-
Yeah, there he is.
you
Look
go.
Yeah,
look, man.
That. Okay.
I promise
What the hell?
you guys know I
Why
can do
do
better
both movie
thumbnails.
covers
I just
not
there's no
have the right
renders.
character?
What am I supposed to do?
but they wanted to trick you. They wanted to trick you into thinking you were getting a cooler Jack Frost movie.
I almost
but-
added film grain to those images to make it look like it was intentional, but then it would have just looked even shittier.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Okay. So what a freaking matchup we've got here. With some super
I'm
chat
actually
from
so
Madagascar.
excited.
This guy's origin is on par with Guts. I saw a lot of people saying it sounds like he's like kind of like on par with Guts. I don't know. Guts wasn't a whiny bitch.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's
I mean,
gonna
which I
bully
feel like
this
is
kid.
kind of what's going on. Although I guess it seems like it's not
That's like-
really his fault.
Gut- Guts is
Um,
way worse. Guts is way worse.
Oh,
But
yeah,
like,
worst
yeah.
thing happened.
Well, Dude Blade says this is like if Guts' backstory met Spider-Man's life, sprinkled with a bit of Dororo, added Carrie, and had it raised by Brian Banner.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah, I guess so, a little bit.
it's
And
so
then
many flips.
Jane Quinn says, I have bad news, chat. Oh no.
What?
Jane Quinn says, Jack may be a reality warper.
You
removed-
No.
Hang on. Hang
I've
on,
seen
maybe
both
not, maybe not. Let me
movies.
read this because I don't know if this necessarily applies. Jenkins says Jack removed someone's head with a sled by pushing them down, but their head could not physically fit underneath the sled, though. So how did he do that?
They
Oh,
didn't
You know what, he's,
think
you know
about
what
it.
that's referencing?
Yes, that's a kill in the movie. It's one of the early ones in the first movie. He kills a guy with a sled, and there's like awkward jump cuts and such, and it doesn't actually make sense, but a kid gets decapitated by a sled. It's,
Okay,
I don't think
I
it's
mean,
reality.
It's less reality warper and more like let's
Bad
just see how far
filmmaking.
he can go before his head smushes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I see a message from Joe. Hey guys, I'm here to ask, is Team Wiz going to lose 3 members? And actually I think we should get to that in just a second here. Let's go ahead and cover what's going on with Champions Island, but first I do want to cover our sponsor for today's episode, which is Ownwell. It's that month again. It's the month of Halloween. Yay! And the month of property taxes.
Oh.
See
There's a
you.
good chance- there is a good chance that your bill for your property taxes is going to be higher than you expect, or if we're already pretty well through the month, so you might have already gotten it and looked at it and been like, oh gosh, that's way higher than I was expecting, because it usually is. So the next time that property bill hits your mailbox, make sure to save your money with Ownwell. Yes, our sponsor helps you save money on property taxes. Sounds exciting, right? But you know this is a big deal, especially with how wild like the housing market is. Just this year in Austin, like house prices actually kind of dropped overall, but the property taxes keep going up and up and up. And that just sucks. So next year, make sure you're paying only what's fair with Ownwell. Ownwell can even protest your county tax assessment for you to ensure that you save more, all while managing property tax reduction, paperwork filing, talking with county assessors, and attending hearings. There's so much to worry about, and they'll do it all for you. So you don't have to worry about any of those hearings, any of that paperwork, or wasted weekends. It only takes 3 minutes to sign up at ownwell.com. And the best part is you only pay if you save. But I know what you're thinking. Ben, you're just some guy on YouTube. You're no property expert. How do you know that Ownwell works? And you know what? That's fair. So if you're skeptical, you can look up reviews by customers on the Better Business Bureau's own official website. 4- and 5-star reviews all around with testimonials about everything from its ease of use to the accuracy of how much money it saves you. So if you want more than just my word for it, there's plenty going around, and it's all really positive. So definitely check that out and stop overpaying and start saving with Ownwell. Sign up in 3 minutes at ownwell.com/DBC. That's OWNWELL.com/DBC. Thank you for sponsoring Ownwell. Kind of a really important thing. Way
No, it
more
really
important than maybe like
yeah.
the silly like Scarecrow fighting Snowman thing.
Hey.
Hey, it's
Hey, wow.
it's Sam from Beyond the Void. I've used Ownwell the last 2 years, and it's been almost no labor to save almost $2,000 now. So good service.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yet another sponsor who we got because we've used it before. People in our team have used before. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Because again, it's the month of Skeletober. Skeletober celebration. And apparently that means you got to pay taxes. The one bad thing about Skeletober. So yeah, definitely check out Ownwell. Thank you, Ownwell, for sponsoring this Death Battle cast. All right, let's talk about Champions Island, because over the weekend we had, and yesterday we had a vote go through to see which characters would be removed from the island. And 2 more characters are being removed. So the vote was very, very close. In fact, on the poll, and just because of the way YouTube does this, on the poll, 3 different characters had 31% of the vote. So we actually had to go into the source code and see which ones had more or less votes to determine the 2 that actually got removed. So let's go ahead and play that video and see what's happening on Champions Island.
Last time on Champions Island. The Champions Discord hunted for the most nefariously hidden puzzles. It was a close race, but Team Boomstick took the win. Team Wiz had to make the hardest choice, sending away Freeren and Samus from Champions Island for good. Now, 12 remain. Both teams will race to the finish in a mystery challenge. Ooh! So mysterious, in fact, that the details won't be revealed until the fun gets started. The winning team will secure this week's immunity from elimination, while the losing team must choose 4 of their champions to send to the dreaded vote. If you're not already, become a champion right now so you can join the Discord and get in on the fun. The challenge will be revealed and started Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. CST. That's Skeletober 22nd at 7 p.m. Central. More details will be available on the Discord and every week on Death Battle Cast, so stay tuned. Welcome one and all to Champions Island.
All right. Yes,
That
Elcano.
acid of them going away in the boat. I'm sorry.
I want some, like, really
Samus was
creative
removed.
ones.
She's the first Death Battle contestant, or one of the 2 first. Yes, so Samus Aran and Freeren are out. There are only 4 members left on Team Wiz and 8 remaining on Team Boomstick as we are going into the next challenge this Wednesday, so tomorrow, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason why it's a mystery will become clear once it starts. But here's a little hint. Before the challenge starts tomorrow, make sure to study the characters on your team. Study the characters on your team, and the number of characters remaining in each team might have an impact on the challenge. We'll see. So that is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you are not involved in Champions Island right now, it is a big event that's happening on the Death Battle Discord. You can join the Death Battle Discord by becoming a member on the YouTube and then linking your Discord account to your YouTube account. It's a setting in Discord itself. You can like link it to multiple things. You can link it to your YouTube account. And then you'll automatically be moved into the Discord, and you can join in on the challenges of Champions Island. This is going to be going on for many more weeks as we narrow down the guys. So stay tuned. I'm excited to see what you guys do with this next challenge. It's going to be fun.
And if you're wondering what its
it-
purpose is, it's our annual thing where it lets you guys get to choose a matchup for next year, but in a fun way.
Yep. And the mods decided to get real ambitious with this one.
Yep.
Yeah, exciting to see. So definitely check out what's going on tomorrow. Again, that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Central, etc. And we'll see if Team Wiz finally pull off a victory. Come on, guys, what are you doing?
Way to go, Team Boomstick.
We'll see. I think Team Wiz will pull this one out. I think they got this. All right, so let's get back to talking about Jack Frost and Scarecrow. So we talked a lot about like Jack Frost or Scarecrow's like origin and what he can do. Let's kind of recover Jack Frost a little bit. What's going on with him?
Okay. So, as he was becoming a serial killer snowman after that horrible acid accident, he went after the cop that was initially like that got him arrested, and so he starts like just wreaking havoc on the town. Starts doing stuff that you would think a guy who's not a ghost, he is very much a biological being, couldn't do. The main thing being, of course, becoming vapor. He is like, they trap him in a furnace, like, this is gonna get him. This is the only way to stop him. We're gonna melt him entirely in this furnace. And he becomes like just mist coming out of it, and he reforms.
They
just
hocus pocus him?
Pretty much, yeah. And he just comes right back. He's basically unkillable, and unless you have antifreeze, which was the big joke. Antifreeze is what stops him in the first one, but in the second movie, he gains immunity to antifreeze. That he comes back to life because of what was some stupid reason? It was like they got all the antifreeze that he melted in. They were scientists were experimenting on it. Someone spilled a cup of coffee in it, and Jack Frost is alive. He immediately becomes alive again, and now he's immune to that weakness. But because the main character from the first movie got some of his blood in that antifreeze, now he kind of shares a link with that guy. And now the only way to kill Jack Frost is through bananas, because he had a banana allergy. So that is the only way to stop Jack Frost at the moment is bananas. Because otherwise, he is virtually unkillable, unstoppable, and just wreaks havoc. And
wait, sorry, back up. How do bananas? What?
Bananas. The guy is allergic to bananas.
So he got his soul linked to a boy and that boy was allergic to bananas. So that means that's the way to kill the monster.
Does he have to eat the bananas, or can he be around bananas?
They ground up bananas into like little water guns and they shoot. So it's
so long as bananas touch him,
bananas will make him explode. Although even that didn't really stop him. But in the second movie, he has children. He has little snowball children, and it's a horde of them. They're all vicious little monsters that can bite off your fingers, and they have just the exact same regeneration as him. They're just as unkillable. It is a huge army of them, and they're unbeatable. It is an unbeatable army. And there's one more other thing in Jack Frost 2 that I want to get to, because it's the most insane thing I've seen in a horror movie, but I think we'll settle for here. We'll build up to that a little more.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of
go ahead.
So in terms of unkillability, I mean, like I said, the only thing that can stop the Scarecrow is fire. And then again, there's that weird line that it makes him stronger. And he does come back. He's been in 3 movies, and I'll explain that soon. But I mean, like, we've seen him pull off his own head as a joke, no problem. He's been cut in half. His limbs can function on their own. They don't need to be attached to his body. There's a potential possession aspect to this that we'll get into. Let's see. There's a cheesy line from the second movie that's you can't kill what's already dead. There's what he really loves to flex. Okay, like he loves to flex and like make people think that he's been killed. Like, there's this great shot from the second movie where the car's like revving and staring him down. And now this man can flip onto this car immediately. We know he can. We've seen him do it on multiple occasions. And he literally does the like, bring it on to the car so that he just takes it, gets ripped in half, and then pretends to be dead so that one of the guys picks him up and is looking at his torso, and then he just bites him, reforms, and then he runs away because he loves fucking with people. It is an absolute blast. So like he doesn't even care who he kills. Like he does have his general like revenge targets. But if like the revenge target is like, I'm gonna run away, then he's like, fucking get you later. What about you? Like, and then he'll kill someone else. Like, and then he does get them later for the most part. Yeah, so like he is quite unkillable. We've seen him get like like a gunshot directly to his head. We did the classic camera from behind, see the bullet hole, you see through it. Totally fine. In terms of kills, the sickles are his go-to, right? Like it's always fun, right? But he has he likes throwing people. That would be the next way of killing people. Really likes throwing people. He's thrown people across rooms. He threw one man across a cornfield and then to land on a pitchfork. And he threw him with such force that he doesn't just get impaled by the pitchfork. The guy goes through it and all the way down to the bottom, and like a chunk of his torso is hanging on the pitchfork. And that was like from across the field.
Okay.
He also likes to hide and then like pop up in surprise locations to fuck with people. I think my favorite one was this boyfriend was waiting behind a tree to like surprise his girlfriend. So he does that. And then she's like, I gotta go home. Like, I really gotta go home. There's like a killer on the loose or whatever. And he's like, nah, baby, stay with me, whatever. And so they're like kissing and she's like, I really gotta go home. And then the Scarecrow appears from behind that same tree that the boy was just there. He goes behind him and just goes, blam, and just blasts his whole arm from the back, ripping the guy's heart out and holding it in front of her.
Yeah.
This is something like he wanted to give you his heart or some dumb shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so the Scarecrow appears a lot. And so I was trying to be like, okay, is he like, we know he's super fast. Okay. Because there's a scene where he's, there's a security guard outside of a hospital room. And, the Scarecrow loves to do a little like like run by, like, and they're like, right, and so he does that across. They're on the first story of this hospital, and he goes, he does the run by, and then the security guard looks like, did I just see something or whatever, right? And then in the ceiling above his head, like instantly, right? And so I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't even know how to calculate that. He's really, really fast, and then. Thank God, in in the third movie, because Max and I both were like, can he teleport? He might be able to teleport. I don't know. And then in the third movie, he's on his little like Scarecrow cross, and it straight up shows him just materialize on the ground as he has left the Scarecrow, because there was a kid tied to it. So then he wants to look at the kid. So he actually can teleport.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay. So it's like so he's both Freddy and Jason, essentially. Is what's going on
Yes,
here. But
yeah,
also
pretty much.
He's like got gremlin coded like attitude about it. He's gonna fuck with you.
Yes,
and laugh at you. All right.
Yeah.
Dublem, the original picture for this says the quote was, "Come on, baby, have a heart."
Yes,
That's what it was.
Oh my god. Elcado sounds like the Scarecrow was made for Ismahawk. Maybe. This would be a crazy one to be their next live action.
It would be pretty sick.
That would be
And
awesome.
I will say, I will let Max go before I get far into this, but I will just drop that he is canonically a master martial artist with multiple black belts.
Of course he is. So, fire and bananas, the classic weaknesses, of course. Do those apply here at all? Are there ways to kill them without fire or bananas? Because as a couple of people in chat mentioned, particularly Michael with the super chat, if the Scarecrow can only die to fire and Jack is an ice mancer, Jack is fucked because he's made of ice, right?
No.
But also, where's the Scarecrow going to get bananas? How's he going to figure out to use bananas? So are there other ways that this could go, that this could end?
Yes, there is. The Scarecrow does not only die by fire. In each of the movies, he is taken out by different means. The first one was the fire, but in the second one, he's just blown up. He's blown up to pieces, and that was it for that movie.
No, it is fire because he is. You guys are
It's
gonna laugh.
fire. It's fire, but like
It is no, not just like, but it's not a regular explosive. So they specifically clarified. So there's a Marine fraternity. I don't know if that's real in real life, but anyway, and they've got a shitload of weapons they shouldn't have access to. But they specifically say that he's like, I have an illegal. It's I can't remember what they called it, but it's an incendiary bazooka. So it's specifically a bazooka that fires incendiary rounds.
But in
what?
the same movie,
Yeah, that's a fire.
but we do see another Scarecrow entity that he's fighting taken out by a wood chipper, and that it's not just fire.
Okay.
Don't all bazookas fire incendiary rounds? Like, isn't that just how it works?
I mean, I don't know, whatever. But they really wanted to clarify it was incendiary round because they wanted you to know fire is the only way they can kill him, right? So they wanted you to know it's a fire round.
Sure.
So, all right, Max has opened the Pandora's box that I
Let's
now
do
have
it. Come
to
on.
get to. When you might have heard him say second Scarecrow entity. Okay, so I thought it was going to be Lester coming back, for all these and like, whatever, because he can only get stronger. But then it was really weird because like we see the Scarecrow in the second movie killing some people, but was that Lester? Was it not? But then he's now back up on the little cross, and then these people are trying to pledge to the military fraternity are sneaking in, and their whole thing was to steal the Scarecrow because there's so many legends in the town about this Scarecrow, and it's whatever. And so it just so happens that the Scarecrow is now on the land of a man whose father got yeeted across the cornfield and impaled by the pitchfork. He grew up and spent his life learning about the Scarecrow and like captured him or just put it on his property. Anyway, he comes out, he sees the boys trying to take the Scarecrow down, but he thinks it's the Scarecrow moving. So he shoots the Scarecrow, but it goes through the Scarecrow and kills the boy. And this is when everything we thought we knew about the Scarecrow gets fucking wild. It is the most weirdly animated scene of like with like special effects and stuff. But basically, what has happened is the Scarecrow can manipulate souls. So what he does is he is a vessel, which I will get to of what he's a vessel of in a second. But if a soul dies, if something dies near him, and actually technically not even dies, but we'll get to that later. He can grab their soul and like take them on to like let him roam the earth and like help them do revenge, but it also like corrupts them and stuff, but they kind of still have like their personalities. So anyway, long story short, he goes through a killing spree. At the very end of the movie, he's trying to his girlfriend that he's just obsessed with. He wants to spend the rest of his life with her, but now he's the Scarecrow. And so he builds another Scarecrow with the intent of killing her and stuffing her soul into the other Scarecrow because that's how good he is at manipulating souls. He could just snatch it and put it into something else. But his best friend shows up and he's like, no, don't kill her. Take me instead. And like he ends up getting murdered. His soul goes into the girlfriend Scarecrow. And then they have a Scarecrow martial arts fight.
Yes,
which
they do.
I was waiting for because that second soul was a master martial artist. The quote from the girl is like, doesn't he have like 100 black belts? Which obviously it's not 100, but like he is a master of multiple martial arts. And the Scarecrow now
who gets brought into the second Scarecrow.
No, the first Scarecrow is the martial artist. The second one was just a friend. But they have a Scarecrow fight.
Plug it out.
So there was a very convenient wood chipper nearby, and the main Scarecrow just baseball swings this dude with a pole, and he flies into the wood chipper, and it all puffs out, and it's just like normal straw, and the straw stays there. So here's the thing: we have no way of knowing if that Scarecrow. Well, I can tell you that Scarecrow is not on the level of our Scarecrow. That was just a little dummy that he had made that he placed the soul into the other one, and I'll tell you why I know he's not on the level. Because they dropped a line that was very quick, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta do some research on that. So the Scarecrow is actually Priapus, which is a Greek god. He is a guardian of the gods, and what they say in the movie is that he is the guardian of the gods' garden in mythology, and that if people would trespass or whatever, he would rip off their genitals and steal their soul and feed it to the gods. So I did some Googling. Priapus is legitimately a Greek god, and there's a bunch of different things that they say, but his main general thing that he's known for is having a humongous wang. I mean, like the most ridiculously, it is crazy, and there's so many things tied to that. Don't pull up anything on screen because
Oh my god, I just Googled him. Yeah,
I told you.
immediately.
I told you, but
Not
he's
to.
basically like a guardian or fertility or like you know how Greek mythologies go. They all get reinterpretations and all this stuff. But I have two fun notable facts.
Damn,
about
that thing is
Priapus.
huge.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So two fun facts about
He
Priapus
used to have a thing holding it up.
is he was a tutor to Ares. The first thing he taught him was how to dance because that was more important, and then he taught him war. So Priapus taught the god of war. And then
Okay.
also a fun fact. He was trying to essay a woman in a garden, and then a donkey brayed really loud, and so she ran off, and then some things got turned into a tree. So he beat the donkey to death with his penis.
Oh my god.
You could do that. I believe it.
So basically,
Yeah, go ahead.
Priapus is a Greek god, and Scarecrow is his avatar that has lingered. And what he does for fun is grab people's souls to help them like get revenge, and fuck with people.
So Scarecrow is basically like Dark Side, but for a dick god.
Kind of.
Dick god, Dark Side. Okay, cool.
Dick
so-
side. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dick
okay.
Side.
So anyway, that's why I know the second Scarecrow was inferior. Also because we see its straw linger, and then when he is blown up in that second movie, they have like some big explosion because of course the girlfriend fired the rocket launcher at him, and like the straws like all falling down, and then we see it magically glow and disappear. So he has reincarnated
Hang on.
somewhere else.
With all that context, and now knowing what this god is, what is the third movie called again?
Oh, the third movie, which is it's called Scarecrow Gone Wild.
I bet.
And
Yeah.
for the reason that you think.
Mm-hmm. They amp it up. On that one.
Why would you even need like a scythe or a knife or something like that to kill people? You got the deadliest weapon hanging between your legs.
He does kill people on the beach in Gone Wild.
Oh yeah.
My favorite one is this one girl runs into the ocean, and I'm like, he's popping up out of that ocean and grabbing that lady, isn't he? And DJ was like 100%. And then sure enough, out of the ocean, Scarecrow, and he grabs her and drowns her.
And that's the one where we see him teleport, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, that is one where
Okay.
you see him teleport. That is also where they go even further into the soul manipulation stuff. So that started in the second one. And then in the third one, basically what happens is he does kind of like the Jack Frost thing where he like his soul kind of he like takes on part of a boy's soul, but he's not fully dead. He's in a coma. And so he like when the boy was getting shocked with the paddles or whatever, like he was like, so it was like stopping him from killing somebody at one point. He has been electrified to death, so don't think that's his weakness. He just laid there for a little bit and pretended to be dead. But what he does at the end of the third movie is this got wild, y'all, because he's coming up to confront. So the boy's now also evil. He's like corrupted the boy, and they're like side by side, but he's still the Scarecrow, and he's coming after like the main dude and the girl, and like he goes up to the dude and just starts force lightning him. We all are like,
It's out of nowhere.
what the fuck? And he's just like force lightning.
Like
and
in the third act, out of nowhere, lightning
yeah, like-
powers.
And like we've seen the electricity before from the second one that was involved in the soul stuff, and like he can fuck with technology, but like just out of nowhere, he's just like Palpatine. Like I mean, he's like, like the dude's like getting electrocuted, and I'm like, what the fuck is he? What is this? And he puts his hand against the dude's chest, and then the guy looks over in the mirror, and his reflection is the Scarecrow. So he was gonna like he's corrupted this other boy's soul, and he was gonna like corrupt this dude's soul too. So then he picks up a cross and impales himself with it to stop it from happening.
Yeah, I think it was transferring possession to that guy.
And that was just the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's just a sad ending. He just dies.
That's how it ends.
Yes.
I
Oh my
won't
God,
let
this
you
is the
take
final
me.
film, right?
So like
This is the
he
last
can-
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
only 3.
Oh
So
my
he-
God. Okay.
Yeah. So he can absolutely fuck with souls. Is a Greek god.
So
Yeah.
Robert,
it's-
unlimited power. Yeah, that's what this sounds like. Oh
I
my
think-
God.
I gotta get into the final Jack Frost stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we need to cover
we
how Jack
brought
Frost
up
is
his
going to
life.
deal with this, especially since Gilded Data says with the super chat. What this is telling me is that there's a possibility this can end with them fusing to become Scarecrow.
Okay.
So what's
No,
Jack Frost
Crow.
going to do with all this?
So, in Jack Frost 2, you might not know, he's on a tropical island for that movie. He goes to a tropical island, and at first, he's only there as a carrot because he's a snowman. You know, you can't be a snowman on a tropical island. So he's moving around as a carrot, killing some people, and eventually he gets sick of it. So he freezes the island and makes it completely frozen, changes the weather, it's snowing everywhere, and he does it just by touching. He touches it, and it just spreads all over the island. And now, because of the budget of this movie, we don't see all of the island. They've only really got one set, but at the very end, we see people going up to the island. And they see it and like, holy shit, it's entirely covered in snow. The entire island is covered in snow. And he just did this on a whim and completely froze people to like
He
they're
Elsa'd
just
the island.
completely frozen. Yeah. And then at the very, very end, after he's defeated with bananas, he's not quite dead because he has somehow grown to kaiju sizes, and his carrot nose destroys a boat. We see his carrot nose just annihilate a boat, and that's the end.
What?
He becomes a giant kaiju snow. We don't
how
see
big
much
of a
of it.
boat? I saw some people in chat mentioning that it's a cruise ship.
It's
Like, is it like a
yeah, I
huge,
think
like,
so.
ship?
It's a pretty big boat, although
Okay.
the effect
Is it like a yacht?
The effect
yeah.
is a toy, ultimately.
Like, is it like multiple
Yeah.
like layers, like multiple floors, like a
Not like
full-on
a
ship
rowboat?
or like a little boat?
Like-
It's
Yeah.
not a rowboat. It's a big boat. It's got a bunch of people on it, and
Okay, so
Okay,
it is a
I'm
ship.
gonna think yacht. I'm gonna say yacht.
Yeah.
Probably. And he crushes it. His nose crushes it and kills those people.
And like it's
Nose
rising out of the
versus
ocean
dick.
kind of thing.
We don't, because they didn't have the effects. We just see people's reaction like, "Oh my god!" And then the
Oh,
nose
my.
crushes them.
So
Destroys
it's
the
like,
boat.
it sounds like
This-
he's rising
this
out of the
is-
ocean as a kaiju snowman.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
rising up above the ocean.
I've still got my soul stuff, so I'm not worried. This is something you
So I'm
have
not
to take
worried.
a screenshot of. Like this has to be seen.
We really just see
This
the
is at the
carrot
end of Jack
side.
Frost 2.
Yeah,
This is at
Jack
the end of
Frost
Frost
2. Yeah, the very
Okay.
end.
So question though,
Yeah.
how is he going to deal with the soul stuff? Can Jack
So-
Frost's soul be converted into a scarecrow or whatever?
Here's the thing about Scarecrow. In those movies, every time someone is getting their soul abducted and such, it is when they're dead or in a coma. Jack Frost is alive. He is not a dead man. So the Scarecrow, while there was like stories about, oh, it could take your soul, what we see in the movies, it takes circumstances like being dead at its feet. He can't just immediately rip your soul. He can't just freely do that. At the end, he starts to sort of start corrupting a guy for electricity, but it is in a long process where if he was touching Jack at that point, he could easily puddle out or freeze him into a completely stone statue that could never move ever again because he froze an island and kept the tropical island cold, even though like he changes the weather forever and has no limits. So he would just freeze the guy, leave, or electricity touching him would melt him, and he would just be a puddle anyways. So his strategy's not going to work. Jack Frost is going to escape. He'll never be possessed.
So one, I think the killing part is just for funsies because we do show at the end he is starting to fuck with a guy's soul, right? Like,
It's a tricky process, though.
yeah, and he does. You know, the boy isn't dead. He went into a coma.
He was in a coma though. It was like a
I think
whole like he was getting a little bit of him.
Yeah, but I think that's But again, he was putting himself in the other dude at the end of the third one. I think, but also like every
What?
time it's
He
like
was
puddle.
what?
He was
You-
like
yeah, you guys
transferring over, but it was like
Yeah.
the electric process.
But I mean, I
Sure,
think
yeah.
if Jack turning into a puddle or going into mist would qualify easily as like the vessel's not there, grab the soul, right? Like, because what is he at that point but a soul?
Well, they established in Jack Frost that his soul is a chemical. So that mist is him as well. Anytime they just that's how they bullshit this is like, oh, the soul is a chemical. That's why he's able to survive all of this and never die. He can always reform because his soul's a chemical. We can prove that. They want it for research.
But then, like Dublo in the chat says, his soul is a chemical and biological. So he's like, but I guess the Scarecrow does have the power to possess bodies. Yeah, so like he overcomes souls for sure. Like he would, like he. Okay, there's this weird corrupting element that we've seen from when he shared the thing with the guy in the coma. But then also weirdest thing ever. So in Scarecrow 1, at the very end of 1, Judy, who is the MVP girl that was the voice of reason, she ends up surviving. She's the one who has to kill him. Oh, strong enough to push a car, by the way, that was literally pinning him to
Oh
something.
yeah, don't forget that.
He literally just pushes it back across the parking lot. So Judy sets him on fire, and then like time has passed, and the girl, like her friend, like meets her at college and like, oh hey, it's you. It's been a while. Let's catch up. And then Judy's weird as hell, like acting way off, not her normal self, and then does like this at the end. She just does this little like, and then it ends, whatever. And it's just like, by killing him, you also lose.
I mean,
Okay.
it's very vague about it. It could have just been.
And
that
then he
got
will
blood
come back.
lusters. He will
Is the thing.
eventually, yeah. So he eventually returns, but since both of these are so unkillable, it just matters who can incapacitate the other for the longest amount of time.
Yeah, it depends how you judge
Yeah.
it. So everybody's gonna have a different opinion of how this works, but depending on how you consider the end of this to be a definitive end, it sounds like it's impossible to have it be completely definitive. So does the first kill, is that what we're going to, or the first kill that seems like it is gonna like hold them back for a while? Sam, I sent you an image. If you can bring that up. It appears that the ship that is being destroyed is not a yacht. It is like a tanker.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
huge.
Really?
Yes. It was a tanker.
And according to
Oh,
Jane
fuck.
Gwynn, and I looked this up, the next film, it was never made, but Jack Frost 3 was supposed to be called Jackzilla.
Yes, it was. They were setting it up.
Okay, so it is
That's funny.
consistent.
What
It's
it is.
Here's the picture. Basically, the way it works is we're on the tanker, the crew's looking up, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then it like cuts to the shot, and a carrot just comes in and breaks it in half.
A very Priapus-looking image there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, Priapus. We'd be jealous.
Oh my god. Okay, everybody. I am putting up a poll into the chat. You go ahead and get your votes in as we get our final statements from our reps here. Chad, last argument for Scarecrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, like it would be a fun fight with a lot of one-lining jokes and them hacking each other apart and stuff and whatever. But the Scarecrow is ludicrously fast, can teleport, and is an actual Greek god that can manipulate souls. And both in the movies and in mythology, has taken people's souls and in the mythology fed them to gods, other gods. So like I think that, and like also cannot stay dead. Like anytime he's been killed by his weakness, which again has only been shown to be fire, his straw disappears and then the Scarecrow reforms somewhere else. And then, yeah, so he's not staying down, even if Jack could kill him in any way. If Jack could get a hold of fire, he's coming back eventually anyway, and I think he'll be able to get Jack's soul for sure.
All right, Night Ghost just sent in or gifted a membership.
This is
Night
the
Ghost
one.
usually
Thank you,
does.
Night
Thank you, Night Ghost. All right, so Max, final argument for Jack Frost.
Jack Frost is unkillable by any means the Scarecrow has. All of the soul stuff is very vague and tricky, and when you actually see it in the context of the film, he can't pull it off as easily. Jack Frost has tons of abilities that can mess up the Scarecrow, particularly, I didn't get a chance to bring it up, but he can get himself in your body and make you spontaneously combust. He blew up a woman's head because she ate an ice cube of him. He can duplicate himself into little ice cubes. Like, they're all sentient, different Jack Frosts. They're like, oh, go get him, go get him. And they're like, oh, I wish that was me in the mouth. And it was all that. They were jealous. So they can be independent. He can independently clone himself. He just has so many abilities. It's so unkillable and has ways to permanently freeze the Scarecrow for good to where he can never come back again or blow him up as he was defeated in the second movie. While these means don't permanently kill Scarecrow, they do incapacitate him for a very long time. Like, it takes a bit for the next person to die at his feet and then he can be active again. But I think that long enough time to be defeated is enough to declare a victory for Jack Frost, whereas Scarecrow can't defeat Jack for a significant period of time before he'll just regenerate.
This was so
Okay.
much fun.
This
I'm
was
so-
so fun. I was so happy we did this.
I know, me too.
What an incredible pitch this was. Thank you so much.
I want this.
Okay. Liam.
What an interesting matchup.
Yeah, what's going
what
on?
an
Yeah, what's
interesting
going on in your
debate.
head?
Yeah.
Well, as opposed to Priapus's head, what's going on in my head is I think it's really tough. There's a lot of back and forth. I kind of wish I had an answer to like stats, although I understand that that's sort of not harder to answer. I'm actually leaning Dick God. I'm leaning because of the soul stuff. When we talked about the soul stuff actually seemed I'm not convinced that he couldn't pull it off in the middle of a fight. But it could go either way. I don't know. I'm gonna lean Scarecrow because of the soul stuff.
To me, it sounds like the soul stuff comes into play when he's got the upper hand, or when he's got him in Force Lightning or whatever. And if Jack Frost is able to have a bunch of options, like, or not a bunch of options, but a bunch of himself running around, including one that's literally the size of Godzilla, I question whether like Scarecrow's actually gonna have the like physical upper hand in the fight. I mean, how like you could have 100 black belts if you want. Like, does that mean you're gonna punch a snowman better than the next guy? I don't know. So I don't know. But what a fascinating pairing. All right, go ahead and get your last votes in. At the moment we got one of them at 54%, which means it could potentially swing either way. It's actually like getting closer and closer to a tie, which would be fascinating. So before we wrap up the poll, just a quick reminder, ballot banter tomorrow will be starting an hour earlier than normal. So that'll be at noon Central Time, or 1 p.m. Yeah. Which basically the same time cast usually starts, and we're doing that tomorrow. We didn't really talk about it, but this is kind of the perfect matchup to push our new merchandise on our website for Skeletober Celebration.
Skeletober!
Skeletober Celebration. We have a whole merch line for Skeletober up on the website. The first time we've ever done this. So very excited about it. Go check out what we have on the website. If anything speaks to you, feel free to, pick it up. That any, support on the website, comes directly to us. So we appreciate that support. And of course, we are going to Clock Tower Con this weekend. It starts October 24th. It is in Las Vegas. If you want tickets, go to vegasclocktowercon.com. You can pick up tickets there. I believe there is a link in the description right under the sponsor for this episode. Which go check them out as well if it sounds like something you would like to use. And again, tomorrow, but lots of stuff going on tomorrow with ballot banter, and also the next Champions Island Challenge, the Mystery Challenge, will be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Central Time. And it's kind of a mystery at the moment, but before it starts, take some time to study your characters that are on your team, because there might be a point to that. All right. And also one last thing. We've been trying out something new on the Death Battle website, deathbattle.gg. And members on that website have just recently gotten the first blog, essentially, from one of our writers, Kian, who wrote Spider-Man vs. Deku, and had a lot he wanted to talk about the behind the scenes of the process of writing it. So there was a whole blog about his process of writing the rundowns for it. I think it's very fascinating. If you've ever been interested in how we approach characters and how the writing process works, definitely go check that out. And part 2 for that will be going up, I believe, tomorrow on the website. So, and that's going to cover the fight and the conclusion and things like that. So I'm excited to see everybody's reactions to that. It's a really good write-up, and Kian just kind of wrote up everything you could think of. So there's a lot there. It's a very thorough blog. But I definitely want to do more of that on the Death Battle website, moving forward. So keep an eye out for more blogs about behind the scenes and things like that. Very exciting. All right. So
Thanks, Gilded, for gifting 5.
Oh yeah, thank you, Gilded.
Yeah.
The vote. Ooh, I just saw the percentage of the votes. It's
We have
gotten
4
closer
minutes
and closer.
overtime. Let's go.
Come on.
I'm gonna end the vote in 5, 4, 3. It's so close to tying. 2, 1. End poll. And we have with if YouTube shows me.
It did for me. You're just being weird. I'm not lying. It's Scarecrow 51%, Jack Frost 49.
Oh my God! God, I wish we
Shit.
tied. That would have been crazy.
It
What the
started off
hell?
with, like it was like 58%,
Dick
and then it just
God.
started to get closer, closer, closer the whole way that was going.
My
So,
God.
wow. Scarecrow barely pulls out a win at the end there.
Thank
Good
God,
job,
man.
Chad. Good
All,
job.
my Scarecrow watching wasn't for nothing, including the ones that were for nothing.
That almost worked too.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another Death Battle Cast. Stick around if you're a member of the website, or sorry, if you're a member of the channel, a champion. We will be jumping into Champion Cast, and you will just automatically move into that. And maybe we'll talk more about the insanity that Chad and Max went through learning about Jack Frost and Scarecrow. Oh my
I have
gosh,
every
dude,
single kill logged for Scarecrow, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
I feel like we just barely scratched the surface of that
Yep.
experience. All right, thank you everybody. We will see you at Champion Cast in just a few minutes. Take care.
Yeah.